Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. Today I'll be doing a trash to treasure and it is a collaboration. Let me get you to these supplies first. I'll be using these two round cardboard pieces. They are from Frozen Pizza. And then I've got some wood numbers from the Dollar Tree, just some regular craft tools, some paints, and this can vary from depending on how you want to do it. So I'll be doing a galvanized metal look, so those are going to be grays and silvers, black and white. I used some hot glue, some craft sticks, that's what they're called. Some craft sticks from the Dollar Tree, and all I did was I laid them on here and then I just glued them on there just to make it stronger, give it some more support. And let me just give you the details of today's collaboration. It is being hosted by Casey from Coffee with My Sunshine, and the co-host is Jessica over at Measure and Mix. And you're definitely going to want to go over there, check out their channels, and check out what what they came up with for today. And not just today, they've got some amazing videos and great tutorials and DIYs. So definitely go check them out. I will link them in my description box. So I went ahead and I found the center of these cardboard pieces, and then I just glued and made a hole with a screwdriver. Nothing nothing real technical. Just took a screwdriver and stuck it on through the middle. And then I took some hot glue, and I always use Gorilla Glue. So that's my favorite. That's my go-to. That's what I use all the time. So I just put that hot glue in there, and it's really sturdy with all these popsicle sticks in there. I'm going to take this hot glue and I'm just going to fill in all the spaces in there. And I went around a few times just to make sure. Sorry, I'm out of the camera, shot there, but I'm just putting hot glue into the little spaces there just to make sure everything is stuck together and it's not going to come apart. And I wanted to fill in all the gaps so that, everything looked nice and even. And adding that extra hot glue actually made it really sturdy, even sturdier. So just go ahead and fill it in. This is optional. You can just, put that one layer of hot glue on and it'll be fine, I think. But I wanted to add this because I'm going to be putting some nautical rope on the edges, and I wanted to make sure that it's, secure and nice and flat. So I did that, made sure everything was stuck together, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to paint one side with silver paint, and that's how I'm going to start the galvanizing method. You can start it with white or black or whatever color gray, whatever color you want to start it off with. I usually start with either black or white, but I found this silver and I was like, why not? So now that it's all dry, I'm going to go ahead and get to start. I'm going to start to painting it, taking off all the hot glue pieces there. And this is some silver paint that I got from, I want to say from Michael's a while ago. I don't use this one very often because it is kind of, I think it's kind of runny. So I don't use it very often, but I figured it'd work pretty well for this project just because it's just a base coat. So I figured it would work fine. So I brought out my heat gun once I painted the whole thing and I just dried it off real quick. I've had the heat gun for a little while and I always forget to bring it out, but it's definitely a great tool to have. I guess you could use a blow dryer too. That's what I used to do before I got the heat gun, and it works fine. This is just a little bit faster. And so made sure that was all dry, and then I took a makeup sponge, one of the ones from the Dollar Tree, and I just started galvanizing. I'm not going to do I'm not going to show you the whole method because there's so many videos out there on how to galvanize, but if you guys want me to do a video showing you how I galvanize, just let me know and I'll be more than happy to do that. And I had to hurry up and get that paint up before it messed up my table. And so I started, like I said, I started off with the silver and then I went with black first, and I kind of made that another layer of a base coat, and you just go through and just dab it on there, and you just keep going and just keep going until it looks the way that you want it to look. There's no right way, no wrong way. if it looks good to you, then it's the right way. So just went through, put all the black first, and then went through and put silver and gray and white, just until, like I said, until it's the way that I wanted it to look. And you can use as much, you know, you don't even have to use black if you don't want to. I just think that the layering of all the different colors kind of makes it pop a little bit more. So that's why I always do so many colors. I just think it pops just a little bit more. So I do, like I said, I do black, white, silver, and pewter gray. So this is after I've done the whole thing in black. Then I'm gonna start going through with the pewter and the silver and the white. Sometimes I mix them. My little guy was trying to help me out there. He's learning his numbers, and so he keeps seeing numbers and keeps saying 1 2 1 2 1 2. Anyway, so there's his little hand trying to get the numbers for the clock. So again, you're just going through and you're dabbing on the white and the pewter gray and the silver, again, just until, you know, it looks the way that you want it to look. And there's no right or wrong, no rhyme or reason. You can use a regular sponge. I just like these makeup sponges because then all I do is I cut the tip off and I use it again. So that is all. His little hand just kept going in there. Okay, so we did that and I went around and I did the whole thing. I kind of I worked the edges after I don't know, I didn't really even pay attention to the edges as much while I was doing this. But towards the end I did touch it up and I made sure that, you know, the edges were all galvanized, quote unquote. Sorry, I had to get my little guy out of there. So I'm just touching it up, making sure it's the way that I want it to look. And the camera is not doing it justice. It really does look galvanized in person, and the silver kind of comes out, you know, and it really does look galvanized. So like I said, if you guys want me to do a tutorial, I can do one for you. Just let me know in the comments below, and I have no problem doing that. And I brought out my handy dandy heat gun again. And like I said, I've had it for a while, and I actually brought it out because we put up some drywall and I used it to dry the compound or whatever it's called. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start using this. So here it is. And after I do that, then we're going to figure out how we want to place our numbers and put in our clock mechanism. And, you know, the clock mechanism, I've had it sitting around forever. I was supposed to be replacing the mechanism on one of the clocks that I have here already. And I just never got to it. And then I said, you know what? I'll just buy a new one. I'm going to use this. I didn't know which one of these little metal pieces I wanted to use. So I'm just trying to try it out here. I know this isn't exactly the best way to do this, but it's the way that I did it. So I just took my ruler and lined it up with the center hole that I figured earlier. And then I just put the 12, 3, 6, and 9 and called it a day. I did paint my numbers. I just went with a deep brown so that it would kind of match the little metal pig or cow, whichever one I decide to use. And I just made it a deep brown, and it just made it kind of look like wood. Very farmhouse, very rustic, I thought. And I really like the way it turned out. And like I just did one thick coat, dried them up, or I even just let them sit there while I was doing other stuff. And I like the way that they turned out. So I'm just measuring, trying to make it as, you know, even as possible. And then I think I took my pencil and I marked it. I couldn't find my pencil. I took my pencil and I marked off where the numbers were going to go. And this is the deep brown paint from the Dollar Tree. And I think it works well. It works really, really well to use as like when you're trying to make something look rusty. That's like the perfect color, that deep brown from the Dollar Tree. I think it's called acrylogy. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, that deep brown is my favorite to make things look rusty. So I just went through and I painted all the numbers, made sure I got the little sides and corners and all the little crevices, and then I let them dry and I worked on the mechanism and just did that. Just wanted to take a minute and say thank you to everybody who stopped by to watch the video. If this is your first time, thank you. Please subscribe, join me, join the family. I'm just starting out, small channel, but I hope that I bring content that everybody, wants to see. And I'm hoping to grow and bring you guys more stuff that you want to see. You guys let me know what you want to see and I'll definitely do my best to do that. Now, this is the last strand of that nautical rope that I used for, what did I use it for? I used it for that ladder DIY, and then I used it again. I can't remember what the other DIY was, but I used it again for another DIY, and now I'm using that last strand for this DIY. So it goes a longer way if you take it apart, and you get 3 whole strands. That's what, 27 feet or whatever it is. I don't know. It's late. I don't know how to do math, but they're 9 feet each, and then you cut it up into 3. So anyway, so I just wrapped it around. I went all the way around, just put more hot glue on there, and it stayed on there fine, and it covered up all that hot glue and where the 2 pieces of cardboard joined together, and I thought it looked really cute. So I went ahead and I did that. I was burning my fingers, and I have my little finger protectors right where those paint bottles are at. Right behind it, there's a little bin, and my finger protectors are in there. And why I didn't put them on, I don't know. They were there, but I burned my fingers several times in the making of this video. So I went ahead, put all the rope around it, and it's almost done. I tried to keep this video as short as possible. I'm working on it. Like I said, I see some of the ladies do like 5-10 minute videos, and I just cannot figure it out. I'm like, how do they do it? I don't know if it's because I like to talk a lot. I don't know if it's because I like to give a lot of detail. I don't know, but whatever it is, it doesn't work. Anyway, so I painted all my numbers. I hot glued them on there where they're supposed to be. And then we put our mechanism in there. And I thought I thought the hands were going to be too big until I realized where they were supposed to go. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking when I put them on, but I put them on upside down, or not upside down, backwards. So I put our hand first, or whatever it is, I did it the opposite way. And yeah, so anyway, I figured it out and it worked. So I went ahead, put the mechanism in there. I think the hole was too small, so I had to make it bigger. And I couldn't find the hands that I wanted. And then I was thinking about making some, but then I couldn't figure out how. So maybe one day I'll figure that one out and I'll make my own clock hands. I don't know. But these will work fine. They kind of match the galvanized on the clock, but you can still, differentiate between the two. So it's okay. And I like how the ridges of the cardboard kind of make it really look more galvanized. It gives it that rigid look. I like that. I didn't notice it until just now that it's got all those little, indentations that make it look like, real galvanized metal that's been crunched up or folded up or whatever you call it. So I put these in there and I think it came out great. I'm going to hang this one in my kitchen, and I'm actually trying to kind of redo. We're not remodeling because I'm not doing any breaking of walls or anything like that up there. But we are painting and getting, new kitchen utensils just to kind of make it look cleaner and make it look better. So anyway, this is going to be hanging in my kitchen. And my kitchen style, who knows? It's farmhouse, retro. It's all kinds of stuff. My style is all over the place. And I don't feel guilty for it. I like what I like, and, you know, I just do what I like to do. So, here you go. The only thing I haven't gotten into is boho, but everything else I'm pretty open to. And I didn't have to add any hooks or hangers to it because the little clock mechanism had a hook on the back of it. And here it is on top of my little mail letter post carrier thingy. So I hope you like this video. I hope it inspires you to do something at home, and talk to you later. Be the reason someone